Okay, I was gonna make this Minecraft, what Minecraft needs part 3, but then I realized I was labeling these things differently, so this is more that Minecraft needs. And right now, let's get started with added and planned items that Notch has incorporated or will incorporate into Minecraft. First of all, yes, I know, bones and dyes are in Minecraft. I have heard from numerous sources that bones are in there. I have seen the bones. I have used the bones. I don't need to hear any more about the frickin' bones. I do kind of wish he used the cauldron, or at least had the glow-in-the-dark dye. And there is a plan for the scarecrow, as I hear, and I did check, or at least I think I checked. Yeah, I did. Scarecrow is planned. Hot topics. Everyone's talking about the souls. A few people have been talking about the wingtip sandals? Shoes? Sandals? Whatever. A few people have been talking about the newspaper. Mostly, they're not sure if it should be used, or if it should be used, it should have a different function. So maybe I'll try something different with that, or have something different. The scarecrow, people have been wanting for, like, scaring off wildlife, like pigs and chickens and cows. I can understand that. I've had frustrations with pigs suddenly showing up in my basement and stomping on my crops. So yeah, I would enjoy that, but I think it should also be a diversion. Maybe there can be two different kinds of scarecrows, one that scares away creatures and one that attracts enemies. Who knows? And yeah, I am gonna say this again. I know about the damn bones. Please stop telling me about the bones. But now let's move on to something a little more pleasant. These are some 3D models I made. Now, I can't really animate them, and the program I was using doesn't allow for a lot of detail, so this is my idea of what bats should look like in Minecraft, and I think they should appear in caves and dark corners, maybe come out at night, but I think they should really be just sort of a cave-dwelling animal. Maybe something like the pigs, not necessarily an enemy, but just something cool. But if you kill them, I would not want guano as the droppable item. It would be funny, but no. This is actually an item which I was thinking of doing for the last video, but never got around to doing it. It is the engine, and it would be powered by steam. Basically, you'd be heating water, and the steam would go through pipes, which I will show later, and the pipes will connect to the engine powering them, or you could have something like the coal from a furnace powering the engine for vehicles like planes, trains, or boats. Planes, trains, and automobiles. Okay, now for the new items, the thing you've been waiting for. The remote control. This is an item that actually takes the place of the red dust gun that the redstone gun that I was originally intending to use. It's actually a bit better. This is designed so that you can activate switches and things like doors and other things that redstone can activate, but this time you can activate it from afar, and it has a gauge on it to tell you how far you are from an item that can be activated. That is redstone activated. Sorry, it's late at night right now. So I think this would be a cool addition to Minecraft, and it is fully possible that this could be added. I'm not going to have, like, the breakdown of what would make it, because honestly, I tried thinking about it and I got a headache. Pipes. like I said, would go with engines. It could funnel water and lava, so you could have like a network of water, steam, and lava tubes going through Minecraft for like machines and stuff. Really bring an industrial age to it, though I would be careful because I would not make pipes immune to explosions, so creepers could easily ruin your day, especially if they show up and you've got a network of lava tubes going. And I would also be careful about breaking into a tube and not know what it is, because the last thing you want is to flood a cavern with lava or steam. Which actually, steam should be lethal in close range, but move up. Unlike everything else, it should go. It should have buoyancy and move up instead of down like water and lava. This one I just had to add. It is the classic. Well, I just lost my train of thought. It is a lethal weapon from the playground. The playground. Yes, that was the word I was going for. This has been a weapon that has terrorized people in the 90s, mostly the kids. I thought this would be a perfect weapon for Minecraft. Something that could bounce off one enemy and hit another, and do it in rapid succession, then come back to you. Replacing the boomerang, which probably would actually be more practical, but I thought that this would be better, because it's awesome. Red rubber bouncing about in Minecraft, it'd be great. Line up a bunch of chickens and go bowling. Actually, that would be kind of fun. Okay, the rocket. This could be something that is thrown out of a what are those things called? A dispenser or something, or you could throw it and it goes in a straight line rather than everything else that goes in an arc, and it will immediately light and go in a straight path and explode, almost like TNT but in a shorter radius. So it'd be a great way of blasting away like walls or enemies or pigs. I'd enjoy that. The trampoline is something that I thought of, like, just on a whim. You could set it down, and you don't lose momentum. You bounce off of it from one height, and you can jump at a certain. If you hit it and hit the jump button at the right time, you could go even higher, but you keep bouncing with the same momentum. Not exactly sure how you get down without hurting yourself, so that's probably a catch to this. But I thought it'd be kind of cool if you could go from like cliff to cliff without having to build a bridge or just bounce around Minecraft or set trampolines everywhere. Or how about pushing off a cow and the cow is just bouncing around everywhere? That'd be awesome. Huh. Actually, it gives me an idea. Never mind. Okay, next item. Crafting slab. This is sort of an idea that someone had and something I had. Someone else had an idea for using like a bigger square area for crafting. I had an idea for having like a big grid where you could do stuff on. This is kind of a melding of the two items and ideas. So basically you set these down and it creates a grid. Every slab that's next to one another creates a grid in that shape of that size. One slab, one square in the grid. You can make items far bigger than before, and you can make buildings on top of the slabs and save them in like a journal or something, or something like that, so that you can, it'd be like a blueprint. You can use it if you got enough materials later and build it at a place you want it to be without having to spend a whole bunch of time. You could build entire cities in just moments. It'd be a very quick way of making a lot of things very quickly. Imagine just using 3 of these to make a wall. You put it in a journal, then you carry around the journal and a bunch of stone. You go to your journal, select wall, and choose where you want it. Then you plop down a wall. Your stone goes away and the wall's right there. Let me check how much time I'm going on with this. Ooh, I might want to hurry up a bit. Okay, creeper egg. This is sort of the exploding egg bomb thing, but someone said that creepers should lay eggs, so I thought, why not? So this is sort of the 2 ideas coming together, or maybe just the egg bomb idea a little bit modified. Kind of cool. The drill. Someone suggested this, and I thought it was a great idea, so I decided to add it. This can be used to go through like a thin layer of blocks very quickly, rather than using a pickaxe or a shovel. I love the idea, personally. It could probably be fueled by wood or coal, maybe oil if it's added later on in Minecraft. The flintlock was another suggestion. It takes a longer time to reload, or its fire rate is much slower than the arrow, but it's much more powerful. The gold dust torch, I'm trying to remember what that did. I think you carry this with you and it'll light your path, and it's much brighter than a normal torch. I would also add that this torch, when it's set down, has the intensity of the sun, so that any enemies like zombies or skeletons that get near it burst into flames. So that's a good way of protecting yourself in a cave. It'd also be a more useful way of using gold dust or goldstone dust from Nether than using them in those blocks, which is a big waste of the dust, in my opinion. The obsidian arrows, they have more power to them than the regular arrows. I thought that was a great idea because the arrows do take so many. Petrified wood. This was a suggestion that someone gave, that this wood would be from trees in the Nether, or in Nether, and once you get them, you can turn them into planks, and the planks would spawn souls. I thought that was a cool idea, but someone also gave an idea of what I'm calling Gorgon juice, which is an item that, when thrown, can petrify enemies and animals. I think that you could take the petrified wood and turn it into Gorgon juice. An item that I kind of created out of someone else's idea of a parachute and a zip line is the grapple gun, a way of getting across large areas of terrain or descending caverns slowly without requiring ladders, or ascending without requiring stairs, that sort of thing. I think it would be a great addition, and I would love to see it. The journal, as I mentioned before, could be used for making blueprints, also writing notes. Perhaps you could have a map in there. That would be a novel idea for Minecraft. Have a customized map. Oh, the propeller hat was like a modification of the wing-tipped sandals or shoes. I kind of like the idea. I made it a bit dorky just because I love those things when they look like this. I had one as a kid, and I probably shouldn't go any further with that. The quiver was actually an item that was removed from Minecraft because it really had no purpose. But someone suggested that it'd be used like armor and hold a ton more arrows, or it should be used like an item in your inventory and still hold a ton more arrows. Really good idea. I particularly enjoy that. And another good idea is the measuring tape, a way of measuring how many blocks you're using when you're constructing something, distances between blocks, things like that, without having to count them if you're doing like really big structures and you want to find out how far you are, or you can use it to like find out the level you're at long distances. I think that would be cool. Also, you remember those little figures in mob spawners? Someone suggested that that would be a droppable item called the voodoo doll. So I decided to make that in here, and you could use that to make mob spawners of your own. Really cool idea. Wings, another idea of modifying the wingtip shoes. Some extra ideas I had that I didn't like draw out or model in 3D are flying birds, you know, like ducks or something. Fireflies. I think fireflies would be spectacular in Minecraft. Crystals that glow in caves. Dynamite is a suggestion that someone made in a video along with traps, but dynamite would be a throwable piece of dynamite. I love the idea so much. I wanted to make it, but I didn't want to steal his thunder. So, last two things. There are more videos that you can watch, which is Healing Fountain by... Oh, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. But this was really cool. He had a mod in Minecraft that created a healing fountain that can heal you infinitely, but you have to go up to it and it has a cooldown period. I think that would be a great addition, honestly. And someone else had Minecraft ideas, and this was by Minecraft Jack 1. He had some good ideas like the crossbow and dynamite. Also traps, I think, is one of the things he had. He also had something, binoculars. Check his stuff out. He had some good ideas. So that's all I got for you right now. I hope you'll continue to watch for my videos. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope you have a great night. Good night.